Rashi, and I'm covering successful stories of agile teams. And these stories are narrated from the lecture of Lester Cockburn. The first story is of a software company that is working in Houston, Texas. The top management of company decides to switch from traditional methodologies to new methodologies, but they have some running projects, so they will have the traditional teams, but they want to get benefit of agile methodologies, values, and principles to have time saving, cost saving, effort saving, resource saving. To achieve these goals or objectives, company decides to rent a new building and hire new team members to which have the attitude of agile software development, because agile is more towards the people and it is behavior who make agile successful. So they hire new team members who can adjust and tune according to the situation, who can respond to the changes quickly and efficiently without compromising quality, and they have experience of working in software companies which are already using agile methodologies. And they made sure that there is no interaction between the traditional teams and the agile teams. So they don't want that the traditional teams will spoil the new team members. So in this way, that company got success and they successfully deploy the agile methodologies and values and principles. Second story is a Australian-based company. They were using traditional methodologies. They have 1,000 team members and they develop a website, realestate.com.au. And initially, few team members went to the project manager that we want to implement agile. He said, "Okay, go ahead, but make sure you show me improvement in your collaboration, you show me improvement in your quality of delivery. So delivery should be of high quality, and there should be improvement in collaboration. You need less time to coordinate, communicate." So with the passage of time, out of 1,200 team members are transformed from traditional to agile teams, because they have attitude of changes, they have attitude to respond to changes. They can learn and they can accept the changes, and they can adjust and tune according to the situation. So they successfully deploy the agile methodologies, agile values and principles. Now there is a failure story of agile teams, that there is also Australian based company, and then they were using existing methodology and the traditional teams were there, and then they implemented the agile methodologies, agile values and principles. But after 2 months there was no delivery. Management was frustrated, team was frustrated, there was pause, customer was not happy, and then they called Alistair Cockburn from USA to Australia, and then he interviewed with the team members. And after the interview with the team members, he went to the management and he said, "You hired wrong people. These people don't have attitude of agile software development. They cannot accept changes, they cannot respond, they cannot adjust and tune according to the situation." I remember one of the software companies in Pakistan, its name is TowerTech. They were developing educational software like registration system, salary system, payroll system, inventory system. And there was a project manager, his name is Abid, and he told me that normally we took 1 to 2 years for planning, analysis and design. So that is the situation of traditional methodologies and traditional projects, because they have to deliver the whole package. So that is the situation. If you ask such teams to switch from traditional to the agile, it is almost impossible for them to transform from the existing routines to the new routine. When you have to work 40 hours per week, you have to you have to interact, close interaction, strong coordination, strong communication, collaborate, and then respond to changes. You have to deliver within 1 to 2 weeks. So it's totally different paradigm. It's a paradigm shift from traditional methodologies to agile methodologies. That is the reason we call them modern methodologies. So in that case, it's not successful, and most of the companies face this problem. Now I'm going to discuss the development strategies. We have two types of strategies for software companies. One is called concurrent strategy and another is called pipeline strategy. The concurrent strategy the teams are working on multiple phases at the same time, and it is more suitable for co-located teams when you have strong coordination, communication, face-to-face meetings are there. So it works for such companies. Whereas we have pipeline strategy, it is more suitable for distributed teams, so that one phase is completed like sequential model or waterfall model, linear sequential model, and then you start the second phase. So it is more suitable for such companies when you have distributed teams. But one of the examples I'm going to discuss when this strategy fails and company has to switch from pipeline to concurrent, and they have to transform, they have to shift the distributed teams to co-located team. The Nokia is a very well-known company, and it's a Finland-based company. Nokia has programmers in Beijing, China, and they have designers in Finland. Now designers were in contact with the stakeholders. So when the programmers finish some code, on the base of the previously agreed design, designers, due to the changing requirements, change the design. Now this situation was not good for the company, and there was pause situation, there was no delivery, and then they called Lester Cockburn to solve this problem. And then he interviewed the both teams, and finally he recommended to the management that either you have to move programmers from Beijing, China to Finland, or designers should be moved from Finland to Beijing, China. And then problem was resolved because they were at the same location. There was strong coordination, there was strong communication, and there was, if there is some ambiguity, unclearness, they can fix it immediately. In this way, the problem was resolved. I remember similar story told by one of my students. His name is Usman. He is working in Techlogics company. Techlogics is a very well-known company in Pakistan. He has a project he was team lead, and the project was US based. Customer was in US. The team was working in the night. But there was one problem. The development team was working in the night, whereas QA people was working in the day. And there was no dedicated testers with this team. And after 1 month passed and almost 2 months passed, there was delay in delivery, and the customer was not happy, management was not happy. So one day the management called my student as a team lead from night to come early in the morning. And then there were posters for running projects, and then manager called everybody who is doing this project, blah blah blah. And he was shouting, he was misbehaving, and then my student raised his hand. He said, I'm doing this project. Then I want to talk to you in your office. Then they both went to the office of the manager. Then he told his problem, that the problem is when I finished the release, there was some issues raised by the QA people in the day, and I don't have dedicated tester working with me. And whenever we fix those issues, next day there are some more issues raised by them. It is normal, there is a conflict between development team and the QA teams. So the manager agreed to assign him dedicated tester. So within 1 to 2 weeks, the release was there, and then the problem was solved, because whenever there was issue, the team immediately fixed it. And if he raised some other issue, it was fixed immediately. In this way, because of the strong coordination, strong communication, the problem was fixed. So this is two stories about there was failure story and there was successful story. Now I'm going to discuss the DevOps. DevOps is a most widely and demanding topic now, and most of the companies are switching towards the DevOps. DevOps is a methodology or process in which development team and operational teams work together using automated tools. The tools which are going to help in coding, which are help in quality assurance in terms of code quality assurance, environment, documentation, configuration, integration, and then pre-operational and operational, pre-delivery deployment, and after when customer paid, we have final delivery and final deployment. So DevOps helps in all this using variety of tools. Let me discuss some examples of the tools we use with the DevOps. The first tool is called Git. Git is a distributed software configuration management tool used by the distributed teams. So if like we have team in America, team in India, Pakistan or Dubai or Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. So any team member, any team from any location can see whenever you integrate something by the other team members or by the programmers. So in this way, it's easy for the team to resolve the integration issues and requirement issues, functionality issues. So it is helping the teams in terms of distributed environment for testing, for deployment. And then we have Jenkins. Jenkins is a free open source automation server. It helps to automate in terms of building, in terms of testing, deploying, continuous integration, continuous delivery. So Git, Jenkins, and then you have Chef. Chef is used to deploy and manage servers in-house or over the cloud. Then you have Puppet, that is also used with the DevOps to manage multiple servers. Then there is Ansible, the tool used in DevOps for configuration, for management, for deployment, for orchestration. Orchestration is a new concept in which we have application or service. We have application orchestration and we have service orchestration. It's a process to integrate two or more applications or two or more services together to automate a process or to synchronize data in real time, to increase the productivity and to resolve the integration issues. Then you have Vagrant. Vagrant is an open source tool for building, for maintaining portable virtual environment. Like for example, Docker is there. For example, kernel-based virtual machine. We have Hyper-V. We have VMware. We have Amazon Web Service. So Vagrant will help to maintain virtual environment. Then we have Docker is widely practiced among such tools. Docker is a container which has different type of APIs. We call them packages. Like we have Windows, we have Linux, we have Unix, we have Mac. So Docker will help the teams to integrate regardless of the platform. So we can achieve portability, we can achieve platform independence. So now the programmer doesn't need to worry about the APIs. API is application programming interface. It's a set of library to have reusable components for integration, like even front end, back end are incompatible. We can have the APIs to integrate, like for example, we have Microsoft tool like C#, and you have Oracle server, or you have IBM DB2. So you can integrate Microsoft C# with DB2 using the API. So API, application programming interface, will help the programmers to integrate. So for example, you as a software company develop a software for Windows. Then customer requested you to switch from Windows to Linux because Linux is free, or Unix or Mac. Now instead of you have to write the APIs for Linux or Unix or Mac, you have to change. You have to do the adaptive maintenance. Docker container will help you because it has different packages. It has package for Windows, for Linux, for Unix, for Mac. Docker will help you to integrate regardless of the platform. That is about today's lecture. Thank you very much. Jazakallah khair. May Allah bless you. Assalamu alaikum.